Support my Breaking News 24 channel. You can donate $1, $5, $10, or any sum you like to. Click the link in the description and make us a donation. Thank you for the support.
Trian takes $3.5 billion stake in Procter & Gamble. Trian Fund Management LP disclosed a $3.5 billion stake in Procter & Gamble Co., PG.N., on Tuesday, taking aim at the maker of Pampers diapers as it moves to boost sales and shed unprofitable brands. Trian's stake is the activist investor's largest ever position in a company and comes at a time when P&G's efforts to slim down has struggled to boost its stock much beyond where it traded 2 years ago. Moving to focus more on core products, including Tide detergent and Gillette razors, the company sold 41 of its brands last year, including Clairol and CoverGirl, to Coty Incorporated, Coty.N, for $12.5 billion. Riat.rs/2JFL6NV, but with a market value of $225 billion, Cincinnati's P&G remains an industry behemoth that Trian will likely want to shrink even further. Trian could argue that the brand sales did not go far enough to create a faster-growing company, said CLSA analyst Carolyn Levy, adding that P&G's beauty business could perform better as a standalone company. Continued share losses in many categories, especially skincare, point to a need for faster change. P&G spokesman Damon Jones said Trian's filing was the first knowledge the company had of the investor's position. P&G welcomes investment in our company. We will continue to do what we always do, Jones told Reuters. Trian's stake makes it the second activist in 5 years to target the company. Pershing Square Capital Management invested in P&G in 2012, calling for the ouster of its then CEO, Robert McDonald. McDonald was replaced a year later, and in May 2014, Pershing exited the position. P&G's stock closed at $87.86 on Tuesday, a few dollars above where it traded this time 2 years ago. Big move. Trian, founded in 2005 by Nelson Peltz, Ed Garden and Peter May, focuses mainly on consumer brand companies, industrial firms, and financial companies. The New York-based firm is known for making large investments in a small amount of companies where it pushes for board representation and strategic moves that will increase revenues while reducing expenses. Peltz, whose firm did not disclose a single new investment last year, hinted in December that Trian was building a new position. The tip set off wide speculation on where Trian was aiming, a guessing game among bankers and investors that was put to rest on Tuesday. P&G's deadline for nominating directors to the company's board is June 13, according to its proxy. Should Trian pursue board representation, the two sides have 4 months to work out an agreement before the activist would need to launch its own director slate. But it is unclear what Trian's intentions are at the moment. P&G usually holds its annual meeting in October. The company reported better than expected quarterly sales last month, with its healthcare unit, which sells Oral-B and Vicks, being its best performing business. It warned that it would reduce overall sales growth in 2017 by 2 to 3 percentage points. The healthcare and beauty business, which houses Source Fund Management, buys new stakes in financials. Source Fund Management, the firm that invests the personal fortune of billionaire investor and philanthropist George Soros, took a handful of new positions in financial stocks during the fourth quarter as the sector was buoyed by Donald Trump's presidential victory. The New York-based firm disclosed a $14.9 million position in Goldman Sachs, GS.N, and made a new bet on Bank of America, BAC.N, worth $3.9 million. One of its biggest buys during the last 3 months of 2016 was a call option on the S&P Select Sector SPDR fund, financial sector worth $72.6 million. A number of asset managers bought into financial stocks during the final months of 2016 after Trump's surprise victory suggested that tax cuts and a reduction of regulatory burdens plus higher interest rates could benefit the financial sector. Source recently hired UBS executive Don Fitzpatrick to be the firm's chief investment officer, putting a woman in charge of his portfolio for the first time. Source sold his entire stake in Procter & Gamble, PG.N, while Trian Fund Management bought a stake worth $3.5 billion in the company. Berkshire takes huge bite of Apple, boosts airline stakes. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated, Procter.N, was an aggressive buyer of stocks in last year's fourth quarter, nearly quadrupling its stake in Apple Incorporated, Apple.O, and increasing its stake sevenfold in the four biggest U.S. airlines. In a regulatory filing, Berkshire reported owning 57.4 million shares of Apple as of December 31, which would now be worth $7.74 billion, up from 15.2 million shares in the iPhone maker 3 months earlier. Berkshire also reported a $9.3 billion airline stake, with investments topping $2.1 billion in each of American Airlines Group Incorporated, AL.O, Delta Airlines Incorporated, DAL.N, Southwest Airlines CO, UV.N, and United Continental Holdings Incorporated, IL.N. It also disclosed new stakes in satellite radio company SiriusXM Holdings Incorporated, Siri.O, and seed company Monsanto CO, Moon.N, which is being bought by Germany's Bayer AG, Bain.Da. Though it is unclear who make which investments, the filing appears to reflect much of the $12 billion of stock that Buffett said he had bought between the November 8 presidential election and the end of January. Larger Berkshire investments such as Wells Fargo and CO, WFC.N, Coca-Cola CO, Co.N, and International Business Machines Corp., IBM.N, are normally Buffett's, but the 86-year-old billionaire has given his deputies Todd Combs and Ted Weschler more to invest over the years. Berkshire's initial investment in Apple got attention last year, given Buffett's usual aversion to technology companies, apart from IBM, which he considers outside his zone of competence. The new, larger stake makes Berkshire one of Apple's 10 biggest investors. "I'm stunned to see the size of that Apple position," said Thomas Russo, who oversees $11 billion of assets, including 12% in Berkshire, at Gardner Russo & Gardner in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Berkshire did not respond to a request for comment. The Omaha, Nebraska-based conglomerate also owns roughly 90 companies such as the BNSF Railroad, Geico Car Insurance and Dairy Queen Ice Cream. Its class of shares closed on Tuesday up $2,078.95 at $250,419, a record high closing price and less than 0.2 percentage points below its all-time high on December 14. Apple becomes core holding. The plunge into Apple appears particularly well-timed. Shares of Apple closed on Tuesday up $1.73 at $135.02. Also a record closing high. Assuming Berkshire has not sold its stake, Apple's 16.6% gain this year would leave it with a $1.1 billion paper profit in 2017 alone. It had been widely believed that Berkshire's initial investment came from Combs or Weschler. But their decisions have sometimes influenced Buffett, as when Berkshire last year paid $32.1 billion for aircraft parts maker Precision Castparts Corp., once a Combs investment. It's quite possible that Warren woke up and began to understand the virtues of Apple that he had been neglecting, or, like with Precision Castparts, Todd or Ted had an affinity for Apple that sparked interest from Warren, Russo said. Combs and Weschler are the leading candidates to eventually succeed Buffett as Berkshire's chief investment officer. The airline investments, meanwhile, suggest that Buffett has overcome his two-decade aversion to the sector after an unhappy, though, he has said, profitable, investment in U.S. Air Group. Buffett told talk show host Charlie Rose in an interview last month that it was in large part his decision to dive back into airlines. The industry was once balkanized, but now it is bulking up, and has come to realize that an empty seat is a perishable asset, Russo said. More planes are traveling more full. Shares of American, Delta, Southwest and United, as well as Apple, Monsanto and Sirius, rose in after-hours trading. Such increases often occur when investors perceive that Berkshire has given a company its imprimatur. Monsanto and Sirius did not immediately respond to requests for comment. To make room for new investments, Berkshire appeared to have shed a $1.8 billion stake in agricultural equipment maker Deere & Co. Dot.N, and new.
If you like to receive more news on our YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button. If you like to receive an alert every time a new upload is made, hit the bell. Give us a like to the video or dislike if you agree or not to the news. Be proactive. Is your life and the news will serve your day. Finally, leave us your opinion in the comment section on what you think about the subject. Thank you and stay tuned to Breaking News 24.